Welcome to another ABS online video. Let's go and find out what we're going to learn today. Hello everyone, it's Shaking Week 8. What? What does that mean? How can a week shake? Well, have a think. Do you remember what we are talking about? Now, we've been talking about student council and shopping, and this week it's very, very different. I get it. We are talking about earthquakes. So, do you remember last week? It really was a crazy week. We looked at everything we had done in the 6 weeks before that. So now it's time to move on to a very different topic. You can't get much more different, can you? Student council, earthquakes. Very different. There's something else. What is it? Grammar. Sort of grammar. Actually, it's some special words. We are also going to look at adverbs. That's a big word in itself, isn't it? But they're great. They really are great. You already use lots of them. Lots of them. There are lots of them. And they make English clearer and often more exciting. I'm sure that you use them every day. But maybe you don't know that you're using them. Now, if we understand what they are and what they do, we can try and use more of them. Now, if we can use more of them, well, just like it says here, your English will become clear and maybe a little exciting. They're super words. So what do they do? Well, we know other groups of words. Nouns are things. Adjectives describe things. So you can have a red pen. Well, that's adjective, noun. At the beginning of that sentence, we had the word a. Well, that's an article. So all of these words, they fall into different groups. So let's have a look at this group of words. So an adverb. They give us more information about a verb or an adjective. So a verb could be something like run. Well, what if we want more information about the verb? Here we are. I run. Great. Well, good for you. Sometimes I run. But, can you see the last word? Of course you can. Do you know what it is? Of course you do. Have you used that word before? Of course you have. Quickly. Can you see? The word quickly, it tells us about the verb. It tells us that she can run quickly. Now, if I run, it certainly is not running quickly. So it tells us more information. Here we've got a verb. What is it? Eat. And then we've got another word, often. So the word often tells us about the verb eat. I eat. Okay? I eat often. Now we've got more information. So there we have two adverbs. And those two words you already know. And they're words that help us to know more about what we are saying, what we are listening to, what people are telling us, or what we want to tell people. So they're great words. And we are going to try and use lots of them. That sounds easy. Well, I hope so. There are lots of them. We will use them over the next few weeks. So we're going to use adverbs with natural disasters. So, what do you know about earthquakes? Well, they're pretty scary. They're just bad, aren't they? Just bad things. Well, they are bad. But I told you this before. There are lots of them, but only a few are dangerous. I guess you could say the same thing about sharks or snakes. Oh, things we really don't like. But actually, only a few are dangerous. So, what are they? What are earthquakes? Well, we can't really see this, but the earth is made up of many separate pieces. Sort of a little bit like a very badly made jigsaw. These pieces go together nearly. An earthquake happens when two pieces suddenly slip. Can you see that line? There's a black line under the word suddenly. Why? Well, it's one of our special adverbs. We've got the verb slip. But now we can see that this slip happens suddenly. Let's read that again. An earthquake happens when two pieces suddenly slip. That tells us that this happens sort of as a surprise. They are moving constantly. There's another one. So these pieces of earth, they are moving constantly. It means they're moving all the time. Adverbs already? Oh, yes. There are a lot. I think I've also said that a lot. So let's get back to the earthquakes. The big earthquakes are terrible. They really are. Perhaps the worst, most horrible thing that can happen in your lifetime. Well, here's a problem. We build on land. We can't really build anywhere else. The consequence of that land moving is devastating. Let's look at that sentence a little bit. The consequence. Consequence means what happens when you do something. So, if you hit a friend, the consequence will be your teacher will be angry and you will be in trouble. The consequence of us building on land is that if that land moves, we're going to have a problem. And devastating. Devastating means something really, really terrible. If something is really devastating, it's often difficult to recover and get back to normal life. Now look at that picture there. All those people, they've lost their houses, they've lost their business, their work, and some of them maybe even their lives. What can happen? Well, the ground can either open up or get pushed up. That would depend upon whether these pieces of earth are moving apart or together. They always occur unexpectedly. There's another adverb. So these things happen, and we don't know until they do happen. Unexpectedly. You can't prepare properly. You can sort of try to get ready for an earthquake, but you can't prepare properly. Let's have a look. Prepare. There's the verb, and prepare properly. Properly tells us how we need to prepare. So that's an adverb. How bad can they be? The most deadly earthquake is thought to have been in China in 1556. So that's a very long time ago, 450 years ago. But there were still a lot of people in China all that time ago. It is thought 830,000 people died. But exactly how many can never be accurately known. Let's have a look. Where are the adverbs? Exactly. Accurately. So we can't really know the real number of people who died. I guess at that time, people didn't really know how many people were in the city. They had no idea of how many people moved away. But 830,000 people. That is terrible. That's a terrible number. And all that time ago, recovering from that kind of disaster must have taken a long time. That was not the most powerful. Wow! The most powerful earthquake is thought to have been in Chile in 1960. Chile is in South America. It was extremely powerful and was measured at 8.6 on the Richter scale. Now let's look at that. Extremely powerful. Okay, now powerful there, well, that's an adjective. And now we've got an adverb describing the word powerful. Extremely powerful. We've got two very strong words together there, haven't we? So, wow, that's like really, really, really. Now, 8.6 on the Richter scale. What's that? A Richter scale. The what scale? Well, a scale is how we measure things, isn't it? If you want to know how many kilograms you are, you stand on a scale and it will tell you. The Richter scale is a scale from 0 to 10 that tells us how powerful an earthquake is. Oh, okay. Theoretically, the number can go higher, but the possibility of that happening on Earth is almost nil. So, let's have a look. Theoretically. Now, that means what the scientists think. So, what the scientists think is that maybe you could get an earthquake of 11 on the Richter scale. But if we did, the Earth would just break. It would be too much for the Earth to survive. Now we've got a good adverb at the end there, almost. Now we know that the word almost is the same as nearly. So almost nil. Okay. Now, so this very, very powerful earthquake in Chile, well, just a few years ago, there was an earthquake deep in the ocean near Japan. And scientists say that that earthquake was maybe even stronger It was possibly even as high as 9 on the Richter scale. But it was very, very deep in the ocean. So it did cause a lot of damage, but maybe not as much damage as the earthquakes in China and Chile that we have talked about. How can we avoid them? Now, this is the information I want. I do not want to be anywhere near an earthquake, and if I am, well, I want to know, what do I do? So, let's find out. How can we avoid them? Oh dear. Right. This sounds bad. If you live in an earthquake-prone area, you can't avoid them. Well, I didn't want to hear that. Now, there's a good word in the middle there. Prone. Earthquake-prone area. It just means it's an area that has lots of earthquakes. Prone is a little bit like likely, probably. Some buildings in highly dangerous areas can sway before being damaged. Here we've got another adverb, highly. That's just another word for very. And it describes how dangerous an area is. Sway. So these buildings can move a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. No other answer? Oh dear, this is not sounding good. That's a nice house. In other areas, the buildings are made of wood because it will gently bend. So the wood will bend just a little bit, which means the house won't break. This is, of course, just a little bit. We all know that wood can break, but it does bend a little bit. I guess it helps. Oh, yes. That looks like me at the moment. I will sleep nervously from now on. Nervously. We're getting so many adverbs. Maybe later you can write these down. You can try and use them yourself. That's the thing about learning new words. If you go and use them, it'll make it much easier to remember them. You try. It's not that bad. Really? It sounds that bad. Okay. You're forgetting the numbers. Only 1 in 10,000 earthquakes are really bad. The others you will scarcely feel. Now, scarce means only a few. Scarcely means only just. You will only just feel the earthquakes. So 1 in 10,000 are bad. They also create beauty. Wow, okay, let's see how. Earthquakes create mountains and valleys as they slowly push the earth up. So all the biggest and most beautiful mountains in the world are made because two of these pieces of earth are pushing together and pushing the earth up and up. It is slowly, though, very slowly. They create lakes as they violently pull the earth apart. Violently. Now, that means with power and with devastation. It's bad. It usually causes pain and hurt. Now, can you see what I'm doing with these adverbs? I'm putting feeling and power into them. It gives our language a lot more. They help us to sort of paint a picture with our words. Let's say that last bit again. They create lakes as they violently pull the earth apart. It helps us to make the sentence sound more exciting. Thankfully, they are rare. We can't avoid them, and we can't protect ourselves against them. That's the bad part. All natural disasters are part of living on this beautiful planet. I don't know of anywhere better to live. But there is a little cost. These natural disasters. So, adverbs. How many adverbs do you think we saw today? What do you think? 10. That's my guess. 10. What do you think? 9? 11? Well, I don't know. What's your guess? Have a guess? Shout out a number. What do you think? Whoa! Wow! It was 18. That's good. How many were new for you? Well, you quickly watch our video again. Write down the adverbs. How many are new? See if you can use them. Don't just use them in your writing. Try and use them in your speaking as well. Some of them are easy, like quickly. Others, not so easy. Constantly. They're all great though. You try them. Oh, well, it's no better next week. We will look briefly at another natural disaster next week. Can you see the other adverb? Adverb number 19. They are everywhere. Briefly is a short time. So we will look for a short time at another natural disaster next week. What's it going to be? Well, you try and look for more before we meet again. Well, I don't know if you could say that this week was fun, but I hope you learnt some things. And I hope you can try and use some of those great adverbs. You have a great time until we meet again, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching our video today. Please don't forget, subscribe, and that will help us to make lots more videos for you. Thank you. Bye.